Today we're talking about how self-discipline is important. A lot of people have misconceptions about self-discipline and why it matters. And in this video, we're clearing all that up. What's up, guys? My name is Cisneros, and this is the #1 channel for young people trying to improve themselves and others alike. And I am so excited for this video. But before we start, if you want to take the first step into improving yourself and improving others, I want you guys to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification. Seriously, I'm not just doing some self-promotion. Hitting that subscribe button and having those notifications every single day, because we do daily uploads over here, it's going to help you guys stay consistent, and that is the #1 thing you need, especially when it comes to self-discipline, which is exactly what we're talking about today. So I want to tell you a little bit about me. 3 years ago, I started a transformation, and no, not like a physical transformation, rather a mental transformation. I made my goals, and I promised myself a lot. And as the time went by, I only completed 10% of my goals. Why? Because I lacked self-discipline. You see, every time something sucked, I just wouldn't do it. I would literally grab a pint of ice cream, open up Netflix, and do nothing. I would literally stay in my comfort zone. And look, guys, the fact that 78% of you watching this video right now have that same exact lifestyle where when anything sucks, you're just like, I'm just going to chill. I mean, it's disappointing to say the least. Like, for real, you have one life. You have one shot at life. You have one shot to make this freaking work. Why? Please just answer the question. Why are you wasting your time? Why are you wasting your life? And look, guys, I'm not going to jump into the whole one life topic right now, but seriously, I just want you guys to let that question sink in. Like, put it in the freaking slow cooker and let it pressurize, because guys, I want you guys to let that question simmer into your brain. Like, you have one life. Why are you wasting your time and eventually wasting your life? Make sure you guys, one life, please use it to the best of your advantage. Please do something that makes you happy. Please do something that makes you passionate. But again, we're not talking about today. Today, we're talking about self-discipline. So I want to talk about how self-discipline is a muscle. So just like any muscle, you have to break it down. Then you're sore for the next day, and then you go back into the gym and break it down again. Self-discipline is a muscle, and you need to train it. So how do you train it? So the best way to treat self-discipline like a muscle and train it is anytime you kind of feel like, hey, this is sucking right now. Like, for example, you're running and you're like, oh my God, my body's in pain. Or like you're typing away on an essay and you're like, I really don't want to do this. Embrace the suck. Embrace the discomfort. Embrace the suck and do it anyway. That's self-discipline. It's doing what you have to do, not what you want to do. It's finishing when you're done, not when you're tired. It is the single differentiating factor between an amateur and a professional. Now, personally, I do a few things to seek discomfort every single day. So the first thing I do is I wake up at 4:30 a.m. That is not an easy task to do, right? It sucks. You hear that alarm, you open your eyes, you notice it's freaking dark as hell outside. You're like, why am I doing this? Why? What is the purpose of that? I'm sleepy. I have a headache. Why am I doing this right now? That's how you build self-discipline, right? That's how you embrace the suck. That is how you embrace the discomfort. That is how you seek discomfort. The next thing I do is do cold showers. This is actually a very popular technique amongst the self-disciplines, how to build self-discipline. This is one of the best things to do just because it's so accessible. Like, all you got to do is turn the knob a little colder, and it sucks. But you stay there for a while, and you're like, yeah, this sucks, but who cares? That's when your brain starts getting self-discipline. That's when your brain can use that experience you had in the cold shower when you're at work. So that's what this is all about. That's what this channel is all about, right? It's self-help and it's personal development. It goes also into business, right? Because when you start using self-discipline and then you implement it into your business and you start seeing that your productivity jumps 20 times how it was 10 years ago, you're like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, that is what I want you guys to do. And the other thing I do is I work out at my maximum heart rate, anywhere from 170 to 200 BPM, which if you guys know anything about beats per minute, being in your maximum heart rate position, it is not comfortable at all. So for my cyclists, for my runners out there and my cyclists, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It sucks to be at your maximum heart rate, or any athletes out there. It like sucks. It's not a fun thing to be in. But you have to embrace the suck and push through it. Now, something that I kind of don't do because it does really, really suck, and I try to get it and I try to get into it, and actually now that I'm making this video, I was just reading my script and I'm like, wow, I should really get into it right now. Because I kind of fell away from it. But it's meditation, guys. Meditation is the single best way to build self-discipline. It's also the hardest way to build self-discipline because you not only need self-discipline, you need focus, you need courage. It's not an easy thing to meditate, right? Because even with guided meditation, a good example is the Headspace app. There's the Calm app, but it's really boring, guys. Here's why. Because meditation, especially mindfulness meditation, is not thinking. It's literally just no thoughts. Transcendental meditation is the same thing, right? No thoughts. Just being aware of your breath and your mind, and you don't, like, if you do have a thought, you just kind of let it go away like a cloud. Right, you're aware that it's there, but you just let it go away like a cloud. Right, that's what mindfulness meditation. You're mindful of your mind, but you kind of separate yourself from your mind. This is very, very crucial, especially in self-discipline, because when you can separate yourself from your mind, which is kind of weird, right? Because you are your mind, but just bear with me for a second. If you separate yourself from your mind, you now have control and dominance over your mind. That is how you get control and dominance over yourself. And especially, if you are dealing with an addiction, that is the number one thing I could recommend to you right now. It's meditation. And even therapies and all this stuff, they teach people meditation because it teaches you self-control. It teaches you mindfulness, how to deal with anxiety. Man, I cannot stress it enough. Meditation is really, really cool. And now that I say this, I'm about to write it down in my notes because I'm making a video on meditation. So that's going to be coming soon. So self-discipline in simple terms is the ability to do what you need to do even when you seriously don't want to do it, right? It's doing what you need to do, not doing what you want to do, right? So when you have that list of goals and you know exactly what you need to do to get your goals, right? I talked about this in my podcast last week on Tuesday, right? You know what you need to do to get to your goals, but the only thing stopping you is lack of discipline, laziness, right? A lot of you are addicted to being lazy. A lot of you guys aren't aware that that is an addiction, but it is, right? Being lazy is an addiction. A lot of you guys are addicted to being lazy, addicted to Netflix, addicted to just scrolling on social media mindlessly, right? The opposite of mindfulness is mindless, right? Being mindless, mindlessly scrolling, right? You guys have heard of the phrases. So please, I beg you, get rid of these things because they are not helping you. They are harming you, especially in the long term. Right? You might not notice something in the short term, but in the long term, you're going to be like, wow, I really should have listened to Chris because now I'm seriously struggling with this. Right? I'm not doing work. So please be mindful of that. Right? I always call discipline the most useful inner power. It's a superpower. Right? Having discipline is being limitless, having no limits. Because even when you fail, discipline is right there to pick you back up, right? Discipline doesn't allow you to fail. Discipline doesn't allow you to get tired. Discipline only allows you to get done with whatever task at hand, right? I freaking love discipline. If you conquer your mind, you conquer discipline, you are limitless. If you guys haven't watched the movie with Bradley Cooper, Limitless, you will be like him, right? In the movie where he's just walking around being a boss and, dominating the stock market. His brain is limitless, right? He understands conversation. His learning gap is decreased. That is what limitless is, right? That is what, it's such a beautiful thing to be limitless. So please, I do beg you, conquer your mind and you will conquer life. I want you to like this video if you're starting to understand why and how self-discipline is important. And by the way, while you're down there, I want you guys to scroll down to the comment section. I actually pinned my own comment on how self-discipline impacted my life. And I want you guys to really, really, really look at that and read it. And also, I want you guys to reply to that comment and put your story on how self-discipline either impacted your life or how you want it to impact your life. So if you guys know anything about my videos, this is the bacon, the best part of the video. Similarly, the best part of the pig is the bacon. And just like, sorry, I'm just going to say sorry to my vegans and my kosher people, but it's true, man. The bacon is the best part of the pig. Like, no lie here. But yes, guys, I want you guys to really, really listen to this, repeat it to yourself, replay it, go 10 seconds back, listen to it, replay it again, and replay it another time. Write it down, make an action plan just on these next 10 to 20 seconds. Got it? Perfect. Awesome. So look, self-discipline is essential in every area of life. And though most people acknowledge self-discipline's importance, very few do something to strengthen it. Look, self-discipline does not equal punishment. Self-discipline equals training. Self-discipline equals freedom. Self-discipline is the single differentiating factor between somebody that gets to their goals and somebody that hides from their goals. So seriously, guys, I urge you, if you want to change your life and keep improving yourself every single day, self-discipline is the key. Self-discipline is like a muscle, right? You don't start in the gym lifting 500 pounds on your first day. You start with a 5-pound dumbbell and move your way up. So don't go out, copy my morning routine. Copy The Rock's morning routine. Copy David Goggins or even Mark Zuckerberg's morning routine. If you haven't started your own journey and it's your first days, only compare yourself to your past self. That is my number one rule with, being on a personal development journey. It is to never, and I mean never, compare yourself to anybody. Only compare yourself to your past self. So look at yourself a week ago and be like, wow, I have made serious improvement. So seriously, guys, celebrate the small victories. Even if you're improving a little bit, it is important. If you're struggling with waking up on time, you're always waking up 20 minutes late and you woke up 18 minutes late, celebrate those 2 minutes. Seriously, guys, I'm being serious right now. You have to celebrate the small victories. With that being said, I want you guys to check this video out so you can get a full circle explanation on self-discipline. I'll see you on the other side.